Contemptuous world, embrace the breath of extinction!
How heavy is that? Light work with the bass on the track, on my feet to the back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink, but it's straight from the tap. And I'm hating the slack, couple miles around.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about one of the 3 art of wars taught to me by Sun Tzu himself in this game. So first one that we're actually going to be covering is we're going to be covering the go-to damage, which it's not really going to work too well here on this team. It's going to be annoying to use here. You're not really going to want to use it against this team either, but this is probably our best bet. And it's Cleave. So when you're making a solid Cleave team, what you mean by Cleave is realistically actually going to be more leaning towards killing them before you die yourself. All 4 of these characters have pretty low HP, pretty low defenses, but pretty solid attack stats. And then everything else is kind of the worst. I mean, Diaste here has 8,500. Vlada here has 7,250. Nadia here has 67. And Charlotte here is just kind of on support, realistically. But like if you look at their attack stats, I mean, their attack stats are wild. And that's just because of the roles that they play. I mean, like Demiurge Este is just one of the hardest hitting characters in the game, mainly because this is also a huge thing, because Dalgarden's Caretaker does some incredible things. It increases your damage so much. But today we're going to be kind of walking through how a Cleave team should be played. And realistically, your Cleave team is going to be a lot of AoE spam. So immediately, I don't have the best gear, but we still have a pretty solid team here. And this team order is actually pretty to my benefit here. Demiurge Vlada, your goal for Demiurge Vlada is to always be going first. That is your main priority. Demiurge Vlada needs to be going first. If you cannot get your Demi Vlada to be going first, you're going to lose, because she is too squishy by herself. Now, you could build another Cleave team without Vlada if you really wanted to, but Vlada is the go-to that you're going to see all the time. So, typically you hit with her S3. Bam, she does a lot of damage, and then she gets to proc her S2, which is a multi-attack here, and does a lot of damage. And now it procs Nadia's S2, which allows her to attack. And then now Charlotte gets to do hers. Their Nadia is doing theirs, which is going to hurt. Hopefully it doesn't hurt too bad. Cool. So now Charlotte gets to go. Right, her name's Charlotte? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Charlotte's going to drop her S3. The reason why we actually keep Charlotte, though, is because of her S2. But now we can drop Diaste S3 and just absolutely just nuke everything. Everything's dead. Veronica's the last thing alive. And Veronica's going to hit us hard, don't get me wrong. Like, this is going to hurt. Realistically, if this Veronica was built really, really strong and killed us all with that single AoE, I mean, I would cry. But it's possible. And then now you're just realistically gonna basic attack her down. Hopefully Aste can. There we go. Aste hits just so incredibly hard. So it's hard not to use Aste with a Cleave team. I'm just gonna use this. This is some free points for me. I'm trying to break out of plat into diamond, even if it's just once. Especially with the new character coming around the corner. And I'm sure if you guys have been paying attention to the to online, I'm sure, or not online, well, kind of online. If you follow Outerplane's Twitter, or X, if you want to be that guy, if you follow their Twitter or X, you might have noticed that they haven't uploaded anything for their new character coming out in a couple days. The last time they did this was with Gnosis Dahlia, and Gnosis Dahlia was a premium unit. That's why I'm saving up these. I'm trying to push out of Platinum to get into Diamond, because if I can get into Diamond, then that means that I get the initial... if I can get into Diamond, I can go into... Damn, Ducky's actually behind. He better fix that. He's better than this. I know he is. The first time you get into Diamond, you get 1200. So 1200 would be super nice for me just to top this off the rest of the way. Which honestly is what has kind of inspired me doing this, because I'm trying to push forward a little bit more in PvP, make some more forward progress, and really show you guys. So Valentine realistically is one of the most annoying characters for you to deal with a Cleave team if you can't outspeed her, because Vlada gets to go. Yeah. So Vlada goes. And then Nadia gets to go. But unless you can, if you can push past her, which I couldn't, Valentine gets to go, moves my timer down. Luckily, this Eternal is actually hitting Vlada and her, and now I can do this. Hopefully, if Aste does everything that I need her to, Aste should be able to kill, because she didn't get an attack bump. She has an attack buff, so this should actually kill everything. Or actually, it was pretty close. So we just have to probably get rid of Seirun here really fast. Hopefully, oh my god, she has counterattack. That is horrendous. This is annoying. This is annoying. This is annoying. This is annoying. This is annoying because they both just healed up to full. And them both at full health is 57%. So, and we have a speed debuff. So we actually lose this. This is why I say Valentine getting to go before everybody is so annoying, because Valentine's able to push you back to the point that you can't, it's hard to recover. It's hard to recover from that. The only thing I can do is I can hope that this kills. If this doesn't kill, I just lose. There you go, I just lose. Yeah. I just lose because there was no way for me to recover from that, unfortunately. And it just happens. Sometimes you just get unlucky like that. I didn't mean to click auto. I'm going to change it off auto. Hiya. Okay. So again, Valentine Sigma, very annoying, could possibly lose almost immediately. Because if I can't do enough damage here, like, it could just go so wrong for me. Like, realistically, you'd want that Sigma dead. But there goes a bunch of our turn meter. Sigma gets to go. Everyone's dead. Unless Aste gets to go to the front. And this kills somebody. Cool. That is the damage Aste can do, by the way. That is the damage Aste can do. Did anybody see the 10,000 damage done on the Sigma? It was just 10,000 flat. It's the same team again, so there's not really a lot of growth I can show you guys, a lot of difference. But if you've, like, I'm sure you've noticed, oh, my Vlada did not get to go first. Yeah, I just lose now. See? I just lose. Even if I don't think Aste can do enough damage in a single hit to kill everybody. I mean, she killed one of them. Which is kind of impressive nonetheless. That she just flat out was able to delete that one. But There we go. That's game. See what I mean? So it's very particular about letting you progress more because you have to be able to handle these. And there's so many different team compositions that you have to deal with. Like, that's a regular Mava. Or that's a regular Ava. That's not a Mava. That's just a regular Ava. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's a regular Ava. Because do you see how, like, we have the red borders around our characters here? If they're a 3-star. This one's the blue star. Or the blue border. Which means that's just that's a 2-star unit. Which means that's the old Mava. Or the old Ava. God damn it, I keep wanting to call her Mava. But, when you're running a Cleave team, you want someone fast. You want someone... Realistically, this is kind of the go-to team comp you want. Because the goal is to push Aste as fast as you can realistically get her. So she can act pretty quickly. And then you give her additional priority so she can finish up. And then you just hit her. You just hit everything so hard with her. Like, her attack stat is wild. I mean, like, 3385... Like... 3385 is a wild attack stat. I mean, like, air, obviously, my air hits a little bit harder, but I've put a lot of investment into air and this attack gear. This is speed gear. And that's a blue weapon. Like, I have put no investment. I shouldn't say no investment. I mean, like, I've put very little investment, and I could realistically make her hit harder, faster, all of it. I could do a lot with this Aste. And it's just about waiting. I just have to wait a little bit longer until I can. But this is your traditional Cleave team because you're going to hit with Vlada. Nadia's going to combo. Charlotte's going to be able to do her effect. And then it's going to move Demiurge, Aste higher up in priority bracket to hopefully let you win some games. And then on top of it, Aste's Revive allows you to go again, which is super helpful. So hopefully... that's at least helpful in understanding how a Cleave team works. And I'm sure you've noticed in some of those games, you know, if I just don't get to have that first turn, realistically, I lose. Because I need that first turn to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible, to win. That's why it's called Cleave. Cleave is just fast-hitting, really squishy characters that are just going to get blown up immediately, that really rely heavily on their turn bracket, which is super, super important for them to have. But I hope that it at least helped out understanding a little bit more about how Cleave works as a whole. This is just a good go-to team. This isn't like every team you're going to see, but this is still a pretty solid go-to Cleave team. And generically, this is what you could run as Cleave. Like in any good JRPG, there's always going to be some exceptions. For example, if I run this team and I see a Gnosis Dahlia, I'm going to cry. Because Gnosis Dahlia does some weird stuff with Untouchable One. Basically, Untouchable One says, can't do more than 70%, hits back really, really hard with her Revenge, basically. She gets like a free counterattack, and then you give her like Revenge gear, and all of a sudden her 4,000 attack jumps up to like 8 billion or something like that, and then you just die. So it's you have to. There are characters that are going to counter this no matter what. Like Stella's a great counter, Maeva's a great counter. As you saw, Valentine's a wonderful counter. Running double healers, like if you're running Nella and Maeva, that's another wonderful counter because I just can't sustain my characters long enough to outlive that. At least in early bracket. In later bracket, it might make less sense. But at least for here in high platinum, it's how it works. At least that's my experience with it. If anybody has a different experience, please let me know down in the comments below. I would definitely really appreciate that. It would at least help me open up my mind to a couple more things, just in case there's something I'm missing. That'd be great. But that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.